It was a scorching July afternoon when I first locked horns with Linda, the self-appointed queen of our HOA, or as we called her behind her back, HOA Karen. I'd just moved into this cookie-cutter suburban neighborhood, a quiet cul-de-sac with neat lawns and identical mailboxes, chasing that picket fence dream. My pride and joy. A pair of rustic wooden planters I'd built myself, bursting with marigolds and lavender, sitting pretty by my front porch. They weren't just plants, they were my stake in this new life. A little piece of me in a sea of beige. But Linda, she had other ideas. I was unloading groceries when she marched up my driveway. Her clipboard clutched like a battle axe. Her lips pursed so tight they could have cracked walnuts. Those planters, she spat, pointing at my babies like they were trash, are non-compliant. Article 4, Section 2. No unapproved structures. I blinked, dumbfounded. They're flower pots. Linda. She didn't flinch, just slapped a neon yellow violation notice on my door and sneered, "Fix it, or we'll fine you into next week." I stood there, groceries sweating in my arms, feeling like I'd been punched in the gut. Welcome to the neighborhood. Right. The next week was a masterclass in petty tyranny. Linda's violation notices kept coming, each one nitpickier than the last. My planters were too tall, too rustic, clashing with the aesthetic. She'd stand on her lawn across the street, binoculars in hand, watching my every move like a hawk. I tried reasoning with her at the HOA meeting, thinking I could charm her with logic. Big mistake. "Your junky planters are dragging down property values," she said, loud enough for the whole room to hear. A few neighbors snickered, and my face burned. I'm no pushover, but I wasn't about to start a war over flower pots. Or so I thought. The final straw came when I caught her on my Ring camera, measuring my planters with a ruler at 6 muttering about standards. That's when I knew this wasn't about rules, it was personal. Linda didn't just want compliance. She wanted to break me. Game on. I spent nights researching the HOA bylaws, every comma, every loophole. Turns out, while planters needed approval, raised garden beds were classified differently, less regulated, more of a gray area. I wasn't just going to comply, I was going to make a statement. I called up my buddy Mike, a landscaper with a knack for thinking big, and we hatched a plan that was equal parts genius and spite. For 2 weeks, we worked in secret, hauling in soil, lumber, and plants under cover of night like we were pulling off a heist. Linda's binoculars never caught a thing. She was too busy terrorizing someone else's mailbox paint job. By the time we were done, my front yard was transformed a 3-tier raised garden, 6 feet tall, packed with sunflowers, hydrangeas, and dense evergreens, sprawling across the entire width of my lot. It was a floral fortress, meticulously within code, and it blocked every inch of Linda's view of the street from her precious bay window. I topped it off with a little extra flair, a hand-painted sign, red letters dripping like they meant business, reading, "Enjoy the view. Karen." I didn't just bend the rules, I rewrote the game. The morning it went up, I was sipping coffee on my porch when Linda's scream echoed across the cul-de-sac. She stormed over, violation notice in hand, her face the color of a ripe tomato. "This is an outrage," she shrieked, waving her clipboard like a flag. "You can't do this." I leaned back, "Casual as you please," and said, Check the bylaws. Linda, page 17. Section 3. Raised beds are A-OK. She sputtered, flipping through her precious rulebook, but I knew she'd find nothing. The garden was legal, measured to the millimeter. Neighbors started peeking out, drawn by the commotion. And for once, Linda was the one looking small. "You think you're clever," she hissed, stepping so close I could smell her lavender perfume. "You're making enemies." I just grinned and said, "Nah, I'm just planting flowers." That's when the twist hit Mike, who'd been quietly watering the garden, piped up, "Oh, by the way, Linda, I checked your yard yesterday. Your fence is 3 inches too tall. Expect a violation notice by noon." Her jaw dropped. Turns out, Mike was on the HOA board too, and he'd been waiting for a chance to turn her own rules against her. Checkmate. The fallout was glorious. Linda's violation notice for her fence hit her mailbox the next day, and she spent weeks trying to fight it, but the bylaws were ironclad. Her perfect view was gone, replaced by my wall of flowers. And every time she looked out her window, that sign stared back. The neighborhood buzzed. Some called me a hero, others a troublemaker, but nobody messed with my garden. Linda backed off. Her clipboard tyranny dialed down a notch, though I'd catch her glaring from her porch now and then. My garden thrived, a living middle finger to her petty reign, and I'd wave at her while watering it, just to twist the knife. The best part: property values didn't budge, turns out. People like flowers more than they like Karens. I'd turned her own game against her, and damn, it felt good. So, what do you think? Did I go too far? Or was Linda just begging for a taste of her own medicine? Drop your thoughts below. I'm all ears. The end.